Good afternoon. Welcome to the tea table. Happy May Day 2025. Oh my goodness, it is a glorious May Day here in Olympia, Washington. The sun is shining so beautifully today. Well, I am wearing flowers and I'm presenting flowers. The most beautiful bouquet came to my door yesterday, and I thought that it has to go on the tea table. My beloved, beautiful children from Yakima that live, Gabe and Heather and little baby Susie, sent me this. And I want to show you, I found a silver vase goblet to put it in. It's in the middle of my table, dining room table, and the light is reflecting, and the colors, look at the colors of the roses, my favorite. They're the deep, deep colors. So for the tea table, I thought, what do I wear today? Well, I'm going to try to match. So this is an ethnic European flower headband, and I believe it's either from Budapest, Hungary, or Estonia, or Finland. Elizabeth, our Tea Talk friend, brought this to me, and her journeys have been so involved in Eastern Europe. So, and they have the ribbons attached, and I think the girls wear this for the ethnic dances. Isn't it just delightful? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about flowers today and how truly precious they are. But first, if you haven't gotten your tea yet, please pause and get your tea, and I'll be waiting for you. Well, today I'm having a very simple little tea presentation, and I'm going to tell you why. I am serving a 1-cup tea with a little creamer. Let's fix the creamer. The little rose on it, and a piece of chocolate cake, and a napkin that has a flower napkin ring. Isn't that? And I put it all, if you can see, I put a doily on the tea table for May Day. Now this napkin ring is so nice, and it's a faux flower, but isn't it beautiful? It's like a cabbage rose or a camellia, and I love it. Well, should we pour out? Now, this is the cup for one that I have today, and I think it's a little full, so I'm going to start easy. There we go. There's the steam. I know you all like the steam too. And a little drop of milk. I remembered the milk today. So, oh my goodness, that's the Queen Elizabeth celebration tea. I just love brisk black British tea. I like a spice in the evening. Now you may see I have a little brace on, and this is why they sent me the flowers. Our family had gone out to dinner. Our son Sam invited us out on, let's see, it would have been Tuesday night. And our grandson Ezra was leaving, and it was kind of a little farewell to go home. He got back from Peru, and now he's going to go home to Boise. Well, I was giving him a few things from the back of my car, and I was moving fast, and the parking lot where my car was, even though it was in a mall, the ground was so uneven. The asphalt was crumbly, and my shoe caught and flipped me and threw me over. Thanks be to God, it is just a sprain, and it's already feeling better today. I have full movement, but we went up to the ER. They got me right in, and my son Mike was there, and my grandson Christian and Ezra. These good men were by my side, and because they had to drive my car because my husband had already left, and it wouldn't help him to come back with his car because my car had to be driven. So it all worked out well. Then I came home yesterday, and on my porch, I have never received any bouquet more beautiful than this. It is beyond stunning. And it's from a local place called Artistry in Flowers. And truly, what artistry! What artistry! To put the flowers together is an art. Well, I want to talk to you about some other flowers today too. Now, I can't remember if I mentioned this in my last tea talk, but out beside our house, way out in a field that adjoins us, my son Michael had dumped a pile of dirt a year and a half ago or so. Well, suddenly we looked out there. I looked out there last week, and there was this bright red, bright yellow, bright red, bright yellow. It was beautiful tulips all in a row, growing like they had been planted on top of that pile. Well, I told my husband, and unbeknownst to me, he brought me this beautiful bouquet, and it's been on our table. Now, it is totally at the end. You have to overlook compared to this. Beautiful, fresh. But I wanted to bring it and show you, because all of these big red and yellow, and then my son went out and got a pink one. And these are the most gorgeous. These are the real, true tulips that grow up in the tulip farms. And I thought, what a lesson for us. We've heard the old-fashioned saying, bloom where you're planted. Well, these flowers were certainly going to bloom. They didn't mind if they had just been dumped as a pile of dirt. No one knew those bulbs were there. But spring came, and up they came. Isn't that so wonderful? That's a picture of us. It may look sometimes like we've been planted in a pile of dirt. It's somewhere we don't want to be. But if we let God come in, He will help us to bloom and bring a fragrance, bring color, bring beauty. Yes, that's the lesson of these sweet tulips. And they were, when they first came in, for the last week, they've been standing upright. It's just today they began to fail, but I thought, I still want to share this story with you because I think it is so profound. We get so many lessons from nature. One lesson I get every day when I look out and see a sunrise, God is in control. He's bigger than all the little problems down here that look so big. Because no matter what, the sun comes up. No matter what, the sun goes down. No matter what, the moon appears at night with the stars. Yes. Isn't that a comfort? Isn't that a comfort and a hope that we are not victims? We have been placed in this world at this time in history for God's divine purpose. We didn't choose to be born at this time. There are several unchangeables. We didn't choose what country we would be born. We didn't choose our parents. These are things that God chose, and we have to thank Him and trust that there's a purpose in it. Yes. We who have been born in America are truly some of the most privileged people on the face of the earth. And that is why I feel responsible to do whatever good I can, wherever I can, for whoever I can, whenever I can, because I've been given so much. You have too. We are so rich. Now the economy is going through a rocky time. And suddenly everybody feels poor, because I went to the grocery store the other day and the lady in front of me had literally 4 bags, and they go, $300, and clink, 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 she paid it. I thought, whoa, wow, we got to have more faith now than we ever have in our lives. But God said in the Psalms, I have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. That's a promise. God will, He feeds the sparrows. He will take care of us. Don't worry about the economy. It bounces up and down. When there is something that literally we have no control over, we cannot allow it to stress us out, because it's doing no good for anyone, is it? No. We have to have faith and trust that God will make it all work together for good. Well, it's another special day. It's May Day, and today is National Day of Prayer, and all over America, from Hawaii to Alaska to where I live on the West Coast, all the way across to the East Coast. And then there's a little eastern island out there, one more time zone past New York. There are prayers going up. It's the American National Day of Prayer. And it was established by George Washington. Then it was codified by Abraham Lincoln. Then it was recodified by Teddy Roosevelt, by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, recodified by Ronald Reagan. And then they decided, I think in Ronald Reagan's time, let's have it the first Thursday in May. Now for us, that is so special, because our Capitol grounds at this moment are in full bloom. The rhododendrons, the cherry blossoms, the tulips, the daffodils. And I'm going to try to get over there in the next week and do a TEA talk on that place. I want to show it to you. It's so beautiful in the spring. The reason I spell out TEA talk is because if I ever say T talk into my phone, it either makes a big T and a talk, or it goes TikTok. So I have to spell it out every time for myself. Well, I'm going to see. These have a wonderful scent. Not all roses smell, but these have a nice scent. Yes. I love the way the hydrangea is put in there with the roses. Oh my. This is a delight. This is a gift. And it's so comforting to receive a gift like this. And I think the message on it was so beautiful. Love heals every heart, or love heals everything. I should have brought it to the table to get exact, but that was the message that was sent. And this is true beauty and love, indeed. Well, sometimes we have to be flexible in life, right? Well, when this happened, I cannot play my guitar right now, obviously. I'm thankful I can at least pick up my teacup. That's better. I couldn't do that the first day, so I'm getting better. So usually at National Day of Prayer, I have a song I wrote called Lord Heal Our Land. And I wrote it way back when we started this event in the Rotunda in the 1990s. And so I've decided I can't sing that tonight because I can't play that with my guitar. So I have a poem I'm going to read. And I wrote for National Day of Prayer. So sometimes when one thing stops, it opens the door for something else. And I will perhaps bring it to you next tea table and read it to you. It's not very long. I timed it. To read it, it's about 1.5 minutes. And because I don't want it to be too long. Now, look at these colors, yellow, blue, and red. It's the best bold primary colors. Red, blue, and gold are the primary colors. Yes, out of red, blue, and gold, every color comes. Isn't that interesting? And I want to just show you the scarf I'm wearing is very ethnic. Years ago, when I was in Austria, I got my first ethnic scarf like this. And it had a white foundation, but all of this design, the Russians wear these, the Ukrainians wear these, the French wear these, the Parisians, the Italians wear these, the Germans, and like I said, it was in an Austrian shop. And then I have my romantic story of a shawl my husband sent me before we were married, and I have it upstairs. It is like this, but it has a forest green foundation. But I thought for today, this with the black foundation was just really set it off, and this is probably what they're wearing in Europe today. And all across the world, people are having celebrations with the maypole. And last Saturday, my daughter, who lives in Wisconsin, she and her family went to a maypole celebration with their children. Isn't that lovely? She said right near their house, there is a lady that for the last 80 years, she founded a special celebration of ethnic holidays. It's a center. And every ethnic holiday, I believe it's the Northern European holidays, they celebrate. And so they had a maypole, and the little children got to come, and everybody got to make flowers and dance around the maple, have food. And she said she discovered that during the Lucia Bride, she'll have a Lucia Bride at Christmas. And then she has different celebrations. Isn't that wonderful? She gave her life, her money, her dream, her vision, and created a center now. And it's open to all people. And I believe it's free. It's a gift she gives to the community. Now, isn't that just over the top? In Wisconsin, there are a lot of Norwegians, there's a lot of Germans, and there are a lot of Dutch. So those holidays would be celebrated quite at that center. Yes. And probably others also. I'm sure she's including others. Yes. Well, I'm wearing my little butterfly today from New Life. May is the beginning of the rest of the year. It's the beginning of good weather. I love May. I have 2 of my children were born in May, and one of my children was married in May. May is just a celebratory, wonderful month, and we enjoy all of the bloomings all around us. Yes. Well, if you haven't thought what you're going to do for May Day yet, maybe call a friend. I know what we did when I was a little girl. I can remember this was in the neighborhood. Must have been my mother helped us do this, because I was like probably 4 years old, 5 years old. I can remember my brothers and sister and I doing this. She would make a cone out of a paper. You either staple it or tape it, and you can color it or make it out of colored paper. And then we had wildflowers. We'd go pick wildflowers, put it in, make a bouquet, put a little handle on it. Now, I don't know how we got the handle, but we would run over to the neighbor's house, put it on their door, knock, and then run away. And that's what May Day is supposed to be. You bring flowers to someone. And I remember that next door to us was an older lady. She was probably in her 80s, and she lived in her little house, Mrs. Macbeth. And I can remember my brother and I, sometimes she would send us to the store for her. We had a little store a few blocks down. We lived in a neighborhood that we knew literally everyone on a first name basis. It had originally been a Scandinavian neighborhood in Tacoma, actually, where my father and his parents came when he was a 10-year-old boy in 1923. And so they knew everyone. And there was a big church or a big school on the top of the hill, just up the street from us, called Roosevelt Grade School. Beautiful. It was a brick salt box. So out of every window you could see. And from we would go on the swings, and when we would swing high, we could look over and see the bay in Tacoma and the Olympic Mountains. It sat right on top of the hill. And then on the other side, you could see Mount Rainier. Then next to that, across the street, was a little church. And that's one of my first memories of hearing the church bell ring. I'd always ring the church bell on Sunday. And it was just a little community church. And I remember in that church being Mary in the Christmas play when I was probably about 6 or 7. They let me be Mary, and I'll never forget it. When you involve children in drama, singing, poetry, activities, they never forget it. They never forget it. And so tonight we are having a children's choir, all children. If anyone's hearing this early enough and didn't know, I've sent it out to everyone. You can bring your children, grandchildren, bring them by 6:30, and they can rehearse and be part of the children's choir. The words and music will be there for them, singing My Country 'Tis of Thee, first verse, and America the Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And it's not too late to give someone flowers. What an amazing gift that is, truly. I was totally surprised. My husband and I were out, and I got a call, and a lady said, I want to confirm this is your house. We're dropping off flowers. And I said, oh, wow. And then I got home, and there they were, just beautiful. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please have a good week. Give someone flowers. Give someone a cup of tea. Write someone a nice note. Yes, give a good word and a smile. Keep it up. Keep everything up, and you will be happy, and everyone else will be happy. Yes. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, push the notification bell, and the like if you liked it, and a comment I love. Thank you so much for all of you dear, dear tea people. Thank you for your beloved comments. They mean a lot. And I'm so happy that you have enjoyed and found inspiration on the tea table. God bless, and happy, happy May Day to all of you from the tea table. Thank you. God bless. Have a great week. Bye-bye.